Hello, and welcome back to Wonderland Asylum. We're back today with stage 13 of the Hachette Partworks release of Build the U96 U-boat. So, what are we doing today? Again, not a lot. We're building the torpedoes that we got in the last stage, and we're going to be putting a label on a cable and plugging the cable into the motor. But without further ado, let's have a look at what's in the pack for stage 13. Okay, so in stage 13, we get a motor, we get a cable, we get a label, and we get some screws. Now, as far as I know, we need to keep the screws for the next stage. And we also need the torpedo parts from stage 12. So, what's the first thing that we're doing is getting the cable, releasing it from its cable tie. Now I do keep them for potential wire tidy. We're taking the small end and plugging it in, making sure the pins are the right way around. And plug it in to that socket. Then we're taking the label, which says M3, and wrapping it around the end of the cable, basically like you're tying up a loaf of bread. Now I hate putting these labels on. It was one of the reasons I like Titanic so much, is because with it, the plugs have the label printed on them, instead of you having to put a label on a cable. Now we're putting that to the side along with the screws, because we're not using it this time around. So what we're doing now is we're going to build the torpedoes that came in the last stage. So again, getting a little bit of super glue. We don't need much this time, just a wee drop. There we go. Significantly more than a wee drop, but hey ho. I need to go and get more anyway. Then cutting off the propeller blades. And they come as a matching pair. So we have two matching pairs and they will go with each other. And once you get them out, we will get one of the axles, or propeller shafts, or whatever you want to call them, but they look like little axles, so that's what I'm calling them. Okay. Because these will allow the propellers to turn. So again, line the propellers up with each other. Push the axle through. And set it in the 2 points there on the torpedo. Then, again, I use a glue applicator to dab a little bit of glue into each of these holes. And again, just a little bit here to make sure it glues these fins at the end together. Because the last thing you want is for the end of the torpedo to be popping apart. Then line the pins up with the holes. Make sure you don't knock the propeller out of its shaft. Squeeze it all together. Just like that. And again, the propellers should still turn, and they do. Now, just do the exact same for the other torpedo. Cut the propellers off. Now again, I do have the feeling I'm going to have to sand these down, just because I did last time. I don't see them having changed the design. I don't know how many torpedoes you actually get with this kit, I know there are at least another 4 because I've got them sitting next to me. But again, I'm not sure exactly how many more we get. I know there's at least 1 that sits on the deck. So there's the 4. Plus I think there's another 1 that goes in one of the kind of bunk rooms that goes on the ceiling. But I'm not sure. I can imagine quite a few torpedoes to go with a German submarine, but I'm not sure. Dear. You can see that there, a wee bit of flashing. I'm going to file that off before I even glue them together. Well, it's a little bit easier. There we go. Set the propeller back in its shaft. Get my glue. And that glue that I use is really, really good, but I wish they still did the vacuum sealed tubes, because they haven't had any of them for a long time and they were really, really useful. But I think if you're looking for a kind of main brand version, the closest I'm led to believe is Loctite. Again, just because you want to make sure these torpedoes ain't going to pop apart. Again, they're going to be inside the torpedo tube. So you're not really going to have access to fix them. Again, squeeze that end together till the glue sets. And that's a good thing about this glue, is it sets very, very quickly. And that's the 2 torpedoes done. And that's what we're doing, is again fitting them into the torpedo tubes. But as you can see, it's a very tight fit. So again, just take the file. There's no paint on it, so you're not going to ruin the effect. And just applying even pressure all the way around. Just file these fins down a little bit. See, it's still quite tight. So again, just another quick file. Oh, there we go. Far better. Again, just push it in. And I'm assuming it's going to be the same with this one. Yeah, very, very tight. So again, you don't want to try and force it. So again, just a quick file down with a sanding stick. See how that does. And that fits in nicely too. So there we have our torpedo tubes loaded with torpedoes, and there we have our motor. And that's us for stage 13. So that's us all done for stage 13. What are we doing in stage 14? We're doing the anchor windlass gearbox, and that's what that motor is going to connect to. But yeah, that's how the 2 torpedo tubes are looking with the torpedoes inserted. As I say, I've picked out a couple of details. You don't need to do that. It looks perfectly good on its own. I've just got the mind of an Airfix modeler, so yeah. But again, I know that's a nice short one. 2 nice short ones in a row. Number 14 may take a bit longer, given my experience with Hachette's gearboxes. But we'll see. As usual, any feedback, comments, complaints, criticisms, drop them below. Do drop me a like and consider subscribing to the channel. It does help out massively, and it lets you see the rest of the U-boat, the rest of the Lancaster bomber, the rest of the Titanic, and anything else that may be coming. But as always, guys, thanks very much for watching, and you know the drill. Peace out.